So, dear seminar attendees, we are running a bit late, so I will be very brief and say just a few words on behalf of the Finland Arbitration Institute, or FAI, like we call it. First of all, let me note that I'm delighted to see that there are so many people here. I'm positively surprised. I think we are close to 300 registered participants, which to me shows that our traditional Helsinki International Arbitration Day has clearly become one of the foremost annual arbitration conferences, not only in Scandinavia, but in the Northern Europe more generally. And we will reconvene here in Helsinki again next year. I believe the exact date will be announced shortly. I also wish to thank all of our speakers, panelists and moderators for putting together a highly interesting seminar program and lively discussions. I think we owe the success of today's event to your hard work and efforts, so thank you everybody. Now, as every conference should end on a positive note, I would like to conclude by saying that a lot has happened in the Finnish arbitration scene since I started at the helm of the FAI board a couple of years, or 3 years ago. First of all, we have adopted revised and state-of-the-art arbitration rules, which have been in force now for 3 years. And I think it's fair to say that the new rules have worked well in practice, since they have received a lot of positive feedback from both Finnish and international users. Second, the fact that we now have an international board with a number of distinguished international arbitration specialists as members has obviously been a major change and a positive one. I think it's fair to say that it has greatly benefited our institute in finding optimal arbitrators in complex cross-border disputes and also in administering our cases according to the very best international standards. And last, I would mention that we have also sought to actively raise the FAI's international profile, for instance, by arranging joint arbitration seminars with other leading arbitration institutes, such as our beloved neighbor, SEC. We have also launched just recently an electronic newsletter, and we have also created an annual Finnish Arbitration Academy, which is a half-year study program consisting of various models intended to educate the participants in becoming skillful and efficient arbitrators and also counsel in arbitration proceedings. So against this backdrop, I'm happy to note that Finland seems to be gradually transforming from something that used to be a backwater of international arbitration into a much better known and more reliable venue for international and cross-border dispute resolution. And I believe that our brand new mediation rules will further contribute to this development, coupled with an increasing interest in mediation among Finnish and international businesses. But there is only so much that any institute can do. I personally think that in order to further increase its international appeal and credibility, Finland should consider revising its arbitration law too. As Andrea mentioned, our current Arbitration Act dates back to the beginning of the 90s. It is a bit old-fashioned. We are not a unilateral model law country, and I think there is a clear need to update the law and bring it fully consistent with the very best international norms and practices. And personally, I believe that the time is ripe for Finland to adopt the unilateral model law on arbitration, lock, stock and barrel. And I know there are many others in Finland and abroad who share the same view. And in fact, the Finland Chamber of Commerce has already started preliminary and informal discussions with the Finnish Ministry of Justice on this specific topic. So hopefully we will be able to report on some progress on this front as well in the not too distant future. Now, time is running and I'm sure that you are eager to continue discussions over the cocktails, so let me add just one more thing. We have a very special guest of honor present here today in the first row, namely the United States Ambassador to Finland, Mr. Charles C. Adams. As some of you may know, before his career as a diplomat, Mr. Adams built a reputation as one of the world's preeminent international arbitration practitioners. Among other things, he was the managing partner of the Geneva office of Eiking, Gump, Strauss, Hauer and Feld, where he also led the firm's international arbitration practice with a focus on high-value disputes. And it gives me great pleasure to inform you that Mr. Adams has kindly agreed to deliver a speech in connection with our dinner, which will commence 7:30 sharp. And I'm sure that all of us look very much forward to hearing what Mr. Adams has to say, considering your multicultural background and vast experience in international arbitration. So with these concluding remarks, I hereby close the official part of the conference. I thank you all for your attention. I wish you a great evening and an enjoyable stay here in Helsinki. Thank you.